But this is one of the most pivotal mergers. It has been in the news since August. So just as you rightly said, to talk about the scale of both these companies as well, Nissan roughly has revenues of 7 lakh crores, while Honda does about 12 lakh crores in just a single year. Combined, there will be 19 lakh crores in revenue going forward if the merger fructifies. And for some context, Maruti, India's largest automaker, does about 1.3 lakh crores in revenue. So they are massive, massive, giant companies, and one of the most pivotal moments in the Japanese automaking space. When you also see that, they've also signed the MOU right now, and they are considering, it's going to be a long process over the next 12 to 18 months as well. Both these companies are listed on the exchange, so they will be first delisted and then relisted as well as a combined entity. Now, when you look at some of the key other factors as well, the timeline that they mentioned is about August 2026 is when the relisting of the company will happen. But what's important is that recently, a senior executive of Nissan had mentioned that it only have 12 to 14 months to survive. And it seems that that's going to be one of the key things for this merger, because it is a smaller partner, but essentially it looks like a tinge of nationalism under this particular merger. Apart from that, that's one of the key things that's been in the news as well, and that's hampered the stock price of Nissan as well. When you look at the other key aspects from the H1 performance that was just reported in the month of November, they had mentioned that there's a 94% fall in profits for Nissan. Their recent CFO, who was with the company for almost 26 years, has also resigned recently as well. Apart from that, they've announced 9,000 job cuts, as well as cut production by 20% for this fiscal year. One other key aspect to note is that Mitsubishi is another player in all of this merger, because Nissan owns roughly 24% stake in Mitsubishi as well, and they've given their offer to Mitsubishi to join into this particular agreement. They are going to be evaluating this opportunity as well going forward. Finally, how does this impact the Indian players as well? Because guys like Motherson Sumi have roughly 5% of their revenues coming from companies like Honda specifically. They also, there are other, they get roughly about 2 to 3% of revenues coming from the Japanese market as a whole. And they've recently done 2 acquisitions, especially from Honda itself, of Yachiyo Honda recently. Now, apart from that, other auto ancillary companies that are in focus are, Uno Minda, Endurance Tech, as well as Superajit Engineering. But Samavardhan Motherson is the biggest one. But this merger is, of 2 giants coming together, as mentioned, with a tinge of nationalism, but it is expected to impact the demand in the home market as well as all across Europe as well.